Focus, not quite the racy RS. Happy medium, Focus ST. But you see, the thing is, compromising like they do in Switzerland can often leave us, well, miserable, because nobody is happy. But here is the catch. Focus RS is gone. And in about 2 years' time, this too will be gone, because Ford would like to focus on the greener future, i.e. electric cars. So perhaps we are forced to compromise, and this could be our last opportunity to enjoy the simple pleasures of life, and that is a fun combustion engine in a hot hatch. Question, good question.
1, 2, 3.
Let's see what is happening under the bonnet. We've got a 2.3 litre turbocharged petrol engine which produces 280 horses and 420 Newton meters of torque. The power is being sent to the front wheels. Now, with the standard Focus ST, you can choose between an automatic gearbox and a manual gearbox, but with the performance pack you only get the manual gearbox, 6-speed manual gearbox, which I think is far more exciting and far more appropriate for this sort of a car. Now, bear in mind, depending on the market you're in, the performance pack can be called a track pack, so you just have to check. But that is enough about the numbers, glorious numbers under the bonnet. So with the hot hatch, you still expect some degree of practicality. 358 liters of space. The shape of the boot is very practical. Underfloor storage, not quite. And that is enough about the boot space. But actually, nobody really cares about the boot space in a car like this, do you? Being a passenger here is actually not bad. I've got decent knee room, decent headroom. What about the middle seat? It is actually alright because the floor here is nearly flat, so you can easily fit in a slim person or a child. Well done, Ford. So in terms of styling, it is actually quite subtle and fairly delicate versus the standard Focus. But we are sitting lower. We've got 19-inch alloys. But here's the thing. There is a Focus ST and there's a Focus ST with the performance pack that you can only get with the hatchback. And I am being told the performance pack gives us significant differences when it comes to driving performance. So, well, let the rubber hit the road. Let's start with some housekeeping. So with the performance pack, you get lots of, well, performance stuff, but in a simple language. You get adjustable suspension, larger brakes, and tires with more grip. But how does this car feel on a daily basis? Is it peachy? Well, no. But it manages to absorb the smaller bumps reasonably well. And then you encounter a larger bump. Oh God almighty, Ford, I felt that. But it is nowhere near as hardcore as the likes of a Renault Megane Trophy RS, where by now all of the passengers would have vomited. And you see, the whole point of a performance pack is to have this car track ready. And you can't expect a jack of all trades for £37,000, because then it is a master of none, and this is certainly not the case here. The steering here is quick, sharp, and very precise, and you gotta pay attention, because if you don't and you're too relaxed, you will drift away unintentionally. Now, speaking of drifting, so those special track tires and a few raindrops and you'll be spinning around and around. We've got a 6-speed manual gearbox, and the gear knob feels good in your hands. Now get your mind out of a gutter. The gear change is not too short, not too long. It is just right. I personally love Ford gearboxes, and the clutch pedal is nice and easy. Let me put it this way, I haven't installed it yet. Anyway, let's get cracking and activate sport mode. Just a press of a single button on your steering wheel. Foot down. Oh yeah, Ford, go on. It feels quick, it feels confident, it sits flat around the corners. Even when you push it really hard, there's not much body roll at all. That's because we've got electronic slip differential, which essentially helps to get your bum out of a corner more gracefully so that you can go faster. And those bucket seats, they hold your body in place. In terms of sound, there's a few pops and bangs here and there. It's very pleasant and it feels like you're 20 again. The cabin looks quite nice, but it does feel a little bit, well, plain. But anyway, the quality of the materials, the fit and finish is pretty good. You've got this carbon fiber. It is fake, but it does look good. B&O speakers, there's very little hard plastic. Even the door bins are carpeted. Nice work, Ford. I do like the steering wheel with the ST badging and red stitching, which is running across the cabin, and it does bring a little bit more life to it. Let's hop on to practicality. Large bottle of water test. You can fit that in the door bin. You have to jam it a bit, but it'll go in. Or you can pop that button here and lock it, so when you get carried away on a twisty road, it will stay in place. There's a decent amount of storage room here. Small shelving, very good. Glove box, big size actually. Wireless mobile charging, this is a neat shelf. You also have USB-C port, USB port, and 12-volt socket, very good. Onto the infotainment system and this large touch screen. Makes me wonder, has Elon Musk visited us? Perhaps. The infotainment system is pretty easy, pretty straightforward. You can of course plug in your iPhone or your Android. Let's have a look at the graphics. They're pretty good actually, pretty crisp. The system is reasonably quick to respond to the touch of my finger. Is it the most advanced and intuitive infotainment system I have seen in my entire life? Well, no. But it does the job. But what we don't have are physical buttons for climate control, so we have these sliders. Makes me wonder, have they also teamed up with Volkswagen? Oh dear. It is a bit of a faff, especially when you're driving. It can be a little bit distracting. You can get used to it, but it's a faff, and I don't know why they've done it. At least we've got physical knob for volume, automatic start and stop, and the ESC off button, so that's important. Anyway, the cabin is not the most functional, I think, because of these hideous buttons, but overall it does the job. Well, I like this engine. It's got so much torque. It revs really nicely. Wow. In terms of fuel economy, so on a long distance journey, I was averaging about 8 liters, not bad. But when you start getting frisky and you drive through a congested city, you're looking at about 11 to 12 liters. Now, to sum up this car, practicalities, some. Comfort, not really. This is a fun, feisty truck car that can be used as a daily driver by a petrolhead, because with the performance pack, it is a proper hot hatch. And I don't think there'll be anything like this coming out of car manufacturers anytime soon in this electric vehicle obsessed world. So if you like this car, you better hurry up, because this ship will sail away. I love it. I absolutely bloody love it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.